What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of living in downtown Greenville. And Greenville, South Carolina is one of the nation's best cities on the rise, and specifically one of the best cities in the South, according to People magazine. Now, Greenville is also one of the best foodie towns in the entire United States. Yes, the entire United States, and there's a reason for that. There's also a number of reasons why you should call Greenville, South Carolina your next home. And my goal in this video is to go over all of those reasons. Again, pros and cons as to why downtown Greenville is so great, but also maybe some reasons you might need to look elsewhere. Now, guys, also be sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to talk real estate prices, real estate trends in Greenville, and specifically downtown Greenville. Also, my prediction of what's going to happen in the downtown area as well in the very near future. And as always, guys, my name is Stephen Delisle. Our goal on this channel is to be the #1 resource, all things Greenville and the upstate of South Carolina. My goal is to give you all the information possible to make the best decision when relocating to this area. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel because we don't just go over real estate specific items, we also talk about what it feels like to live in different pockets of the upstate as well. So guys, let's talk about the pros of living in downtown Greenville. Of course, if you've been here, if you've looked at it on the internet, you're gonna see the hallmark of Greenville, South Carolina is Falls Park. That's the suspended bridge, and trickled throughout here is going to be many different restaurants and amenities for people that are not only residents of downtown Greenville, but also visitors alike. One of the top items that my clients look for when living or looking to live in downtown Greenville is walkability or even riding a bike. What kind of amenities are close by? So there's also many different parks that you might not be aware of at your first visit to downtown Greenville. Like the one that we're standing in today is the Rock Quarry Garden. It's just minutes away from downtown Greenville and the suspended bridge that we just talked about. And these are things that are important to the residents that live downtown Greenville. So guys, let's talk food. Greenville, South Carolina continues to be one of the fastest growing foodie cities in the entire United States. And I actually had the pleasure of helping one of the head chefs for Hall's Chop House move from New York City down to the upstate. And he came down here to become the head chef and run one of the most well-known restaurants right here in the upstate. Now guys, when I moved here in 2003 from Orlando, Florida, Greenville, and specifically downtown Greenville, did not look anything like it currently looks like. You have places like the Grand Bohemian Hotel that just built their multi-million-dollar hotel right off of Falls Park and overlooks the suspended bridge as well. You have over 20 breweries that are located downtown here as well because you have such clean water that comes from the Blue Ridge Mountains, which further aids the brewing process. If you know anything about beer, you need clean water. And of course, I can't go without talking about some of the signature cocktail places like Coral. You've got Juniper, that it has a gorgeous outdoor seating area as well. And then you also have Neat Bourbon Bar, which is definitely one you're gonna wanna check out. So guys, if you live downtown Greenville, of course, you're gonna have access to all of those amenities, whether it's restaurants or you're into cocktail bars. So if you live downtown Greenville, you also have access to lots of entertainment amenities like the Peace Center. Now, back in 2003 and even 2015, we didn't have these big name Broadway shows coming through Greenville throughout the year. You also have big concerts and also some comedy shows that come through here, and it's definitely a place that you need to check out. Now guys, I definitely have to talk about Greenville's biggest festival that happens in October every single year. And every year it seems like they double their attendance because of the awareness around our beautiful city. But it's called Fall for Greenville. Yeah, it's a little bit of a pun, but as soon as you do come down here and experience what Greenville, specifically downtown Greenville, has to offer, you definitely will fall for it. I know I did back in 2003 and it continues to grow. But that's a festival where they block off the street of Main Street. It really feels like an old American town feel. You've got the string lights, you have vendors for food, wine, beer, you've got 6 or 7 stages for music all throughout. Now, it's helpful to know that this is a 3-day event, so it's not something you're gonna miss if you're out of town just for the one day. You've got 3 opportunities to go down there and enjoy everything that the downtown Greenville has to offer. But it's really cool that you've got all these vendors that pull their tents out from their restaurants and have a select menu. You've got tickets that you can buy the food, the beer, and the wine with, but it's a really cool sampler, and that's what we use it for, at least for my family. So you don't have to go down and sit in a restaurant. You get to actually taste each one of those restaurants and what they have to offer. Now, the other event I definitely have to mention is Artisphere. This takes place during the spring, and it's a couple-day event as well, but this is where over 100 different artists from across the country come to Greenville. It's hosted right on Main Street as well. You've got a ton of tents and vendors out there for food and drinks, but also the opportunity for these 100 different artists to showcase their art. You can buy their arts and prints. Now, these artists are showcasing everything from pottery to jewelry to prints, real paintings. There's really a wide range of different types of mediums that you could not only enjoy, but also purchase. Another thing that downtown Greenville is really aware of and very good at doing is also smaller events. Like Noma Square, they have live music every Thursday and Saturday night during the summer. I've been to it personally as well. It's very family friendly, and you can also bring your dogs. It's just a really good sense of community, and you get an opportunity to meet a lot of new people that even have just moved here and are getting a feel for what downtown Greenville really feels like and how you live here. Now, one of the things that my family really enjoys is the farmers market that takes over downtown Greenville. Of course, there are other pockets like Greer and Travelers Rest that have their own farmers market, but this one really seems to be a lot larger and has a better turnout for different vendors, so definitely check this one out. But they've got everything from plants that you can plant in your yard to any kind of food to also a few things that you can buy that are art related as well. And the farmers market is every Saturday from May to October. And the last pro I'm going to touch on is really your investment dollar. When I talk to my clients, I really get a feel for what they're wanting, yes, but also how their money is going to be serving them long term. And I really see the future of downtown Greenville continuing to grow. You've got things like Gateway Greenville that's adding hundreds of, if not thousands of residential units and also commercial spaces that are going to continue this area and the growth of this area. You also have things like GE, BMW, and not only the business itself of BMW, for example, but also the ancillary businesses that support it, which is why we have such a large influx of inbound migration to Greenville and why it's such a steady market. Another thing to really just anchor down the growth of Greenville is you've got places like Pottery Barn and Williams-Sonoma and Whole Foods that are now taking over the spaces that used to be the old tax office. They've demolished that entire building and they've spent millions of dollars rebuilding a new tax office, but right next to it is going to be those anchor stores. It's a really cool feeling to see that we're no longer a subsidiary to like a Charlotte or Atlanta, like I would imagine those places would be. Now guys, let's talk about some of the cons of living in downtown Greenville. Now, if you're coming from a place like Charlotte, Atlanta, New York City, you're probably going to laugh at the fact that the traffic has almost tripled in the last 5 years from what people have experienced that have lived here for 20 years plus, let's say. Now, for someone that's coming from a large city like Charlotte, for example, you might think and laugh at the fact that I think that this is traffic. But for someone that's local and has lived here for quite some time, it's definitely way more congested than what we've been used to in the last 20 years. Now, if there are big events, because we are a main attraction for things like concerts and other types of entertainment amenities, you're going to see rush hour be way more congested than the weekends or even during the day. Like, we're shooting this video at 11 o'clock during the day and the traffic is really minor. But as soon as you're looking to go to work around 8 to 9 o'clock and definitely around 4 to 5 to 6 o'clock, it's going to be triple the amount of traffic that you're going to experience. Now, the second con to me, because I've lived here since 2003, is the noise. The amount of noise that has been generated because the amount of people that have moved here and the amount of things that have been built, you're going to have more people, which create more noise. So what downtown Greenville has done is created a noise ordinance, which we didn't have in high school, by the way, because we could go down Main Street and rev our engines and nothing would happen. Now, if you did that, you're going to be slapped with a big fine. You also have to think about the noise that's created from coming into downtown Greenville. You're all kind of funneled in from 385. So you're going to have congestion that lives there pretty much throughout the entire day. Now, the last con to me is going to be prices and real estate specific. So a number of years ago, even 10 years ago, the price per square foot for a condo downtown on Main Street was going to be around $250 per square foot. Well, it's more than doubled in that amount of time. So now the money needed to enjoy the amenities in the immediate downtown area are going to be double, sometimes triple or quadruple what you would pay in places like Greer or Simpsonville, for example. But you do have the ability to not drive your car. You can just go out of your condo and walk to any amenity that you see fit. But just take that into consideration. Also, taxes are going to be a little bit more in downtown Greenville than the other areas like Greer or Simpsonville. All right, guys, the last thing I want to leave you with is talking about real estate trends. Now, downtown Greenville has, in the past couple of years, put a lot of emphasis on density of homes. So what we're seeing right now is a lot of developers and builders are buying a parcel of land and they're dividing it into 4 and putting 4 houses effectively right on top of each other, where otherwise maybe 10, 15 years ago, you'd have 1 home. So that's something you need to be aware of, is the density in Greenville is also going to continue further pouring into the amount of cars and traffic and noise. Now, while the density to some might pose as a challenge if you're used to living in the country and having a little bit more elbow room, one thing is for sure, and I say this to all my clients that are moving into any neighborhood, that the builder is going to do a lot of appreciation for you. So if you're investing your money into downtown Greenville, you've got all these developers, whether residential or commercial, continuing to pour their money into downtown Greenville because they see and believe in the growth. So if you do purchase a house, whether it's a resale or a new construction, you can be sure, at least for the foreseeable future, that it's going to continue to grow, which means your equity is going to continue to grow along with the city. Now, if you're someone that just moved here and you came across this video and it was helpful and you further want to understand what Greenville and the Upstate has to offer, feel free to like and subscribe to our channel, because that's really our aim of this channel, is so that you have an understanding of the resources available to you in this great city. But also, if you're a buyer looking to move to this location, there's a more in-depth conversation that I'd like to have with you so that you understand what you're going to buy and what locations provide what. Just like we went over some of the amenities of downtown Greenville, there are other places like Greer, Taylor's, Travelers Rest, and even Simpsonville, just to name a few, that might provide the lifestyle that you're looking for. Feel free to comment below and we can engage with you there. But of course, if you want to reach out to me directly, you can also email me at steven@delisle.inc.com. You can also feel free to call me on my cell phone as well, which is 864-506-3706. You can also check out our website at delisleproperties.com and register there as well. It stays internal with the team and it gives me an opportunity to see what your interests are and then further dig deeper on what your needs are, and we can, of course, accomplish that together. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always with Delisle Properties, luxury always comes standard.